We're good. Hello and happy Friday. A couple weeks ago, I did a video about drapery hardware, DIY versus custom. So today I kind of wanted to follow up on where should we install that drapery rod. Now, there are a couple different places that we can actually put that rod up. There are some do's and don'ts that I want to go over today with you all. So I have a drapery rod and a window treatment display here in our showroom that I kind of just want to go over with you on the kind of do's and don'ts. So ultimately, when installing drapes, you really want to elevate the space and bring the height up to the room. Now, if you're going the DIY route, a lot of times drapery panels that you get off the shelf are usually about 83 inches or 84 inches in length. On average, the top of your window or the top of the molding of the window is about at that height. So if you see right there, the window opening, the top of the window there, that's usually about anywhere from 83 to 84 inches. Now, if you were to put a drapery panel there, now imagine if you were to put a rod at the top there, if you wanted to give it some height, you kind of run into a little bit of a problem, because at the bottom, then your drapes are going to be short to the floor. They're not going to be able to touch the floor all the way. So you kind of have to decide, do I put my rod right at the window height line? Usually our windows here don't have any kind of molding around it, but usually in your home you're going to have some really pretty decorative molding. So you don't really want to install a rod going right across there. So that's one of the cons of getting panels that you can buy ready-made panels and a ready-made rod. So you don't have the ability to kind of really bring the height up of your window treatments, or else they're going to look like high waters, or they're going to be really short. So in this case here in our showroom, we wanted to really bring the height of the space up and draw your line and draw your eye up to the ceiling. So we've installed the rod right underneath our crown molding. By doing that, it gives the illusion that the window is really a lot taller. And we installed here a Roman shade underneath it. Now, as you can see right now, I'm showing you that this is really where our window ends. But if you pop a Roman shade above it, you really have no idea when lowering it where this window treatment actually, or where the window actually starts and ends. So it gives the illusion that your window is a lot taller, and it makes the space feel a lot grander. So that's what we really love about when doing a drapery rod under the crown molding. It gives you the flexibility that if you do want to put some kind of an operable shade underneath your stationary panels, you have the ability to do that. The other positive about bringing your drapery rod all the way up to underneath the ceiling crown with doing a Roman shade like this is, if you wanted to really maximize your window space in your glass, you have the ability to do that, to really pop this open. So a lot of the stack of this Roman shade ends up being on that wall space between the top of the rod and the top of the window opening. So that's another positive as to why you really want to install your drapery rod up above your window molding. Now, if you're saying, look, this look to me, it's a little too drastic. I don't plan on putting a Roman shade or any kind of shade underneath my drapery rod. So what do I do with that, say, like, 12 to 15 inches of space between the top of my window and the bottom of my crown? What you can do a lot of times, what we do as well, is we split it. So say if it's 12 inches between your top of your window and the bottom of your crown, you could always put your drapery rod in between that space, so that this way, again, it still brings height to your room and to the space, and you're not necessarily breaking that crown molding line. So that's another option in which to do it, and that's another reason why going with custom drapes really works, because you can really tailor the length of your window treatment to that space, because no space is exactly the same. We run into this every day where sometimes our drapery length, depending on the rod, can be anywhere from 90 inches to 92 inches, 94 inches. It's really hit or miss depending on where we're putting the rod and the space and the ceiling height and the floor in that room. So here's a couple things just to kind of give you a rundown of when you're hanging your rod. in your space. You want to decide where you're going to put the rod. Is it going to be under the crown molding, or are you going to float it in between the top of the molding and the top of the window molding and the bottom of the ceiling? So, and when you decide where you want to put the rod, then you can decide what your window panel length is going to be, so where the drapery length is going to be. So a lot of times when going with ready-made panels, your options are either 84 or 96. Now 96 is usually the standard ceiling heights, about 8-foot ceilings. So a lot of times if you're putting your rod right under the crown, if you don't have any crown and you put the rod as high up to the ceiling as you possibly want to go, your panels most likely are going to be dragging on the floor. Now if that's the kind of look you're going for, then those 96-inch panels will work for you. If that's not the look you're going for, then you still have to bring the panels somewhere to get them tailored and all that other good stuff. I'm not going on selfie mode right now, so I'm gonna go around the camera to see if there's any kind of questions or anything, and then I'm gonna zoom it in to kind of give you a close-up look as to what we're doing here. So as you can see here, our rod is sitting right under the crown, and by doing that, we can have our panels that just come down ever so slightly and kiss the floor that way. So if you, that's why it's with going with custom, you have the ability to do that. If you were to go with ready-made, then you're not going to necessarily get this look, because these panels are made exactly for the showroom length, and we decided we wanted the rod at this height, so we made the drapes at this size. It's kind of like one of those things, what comes first, the chicken. So that's one of the great reasons as to why working with someone in the window treatment industry, we can kind of figure out all those different nudgy details for you, so that way you don't have to worry about it. So I hope you guys all have a great weekend. If you don't know, we just launched a new website. So if you want to check out our website, it's windowworksnj.com. You can see some really great pictures that we've put up there. Shout out to Nicole from Curio Electric. She did a phenomenal job, and I will link the new website below. Make sure, if you want to keep up with us, follow us on Instagram, and for Luann, at Luann Higuera at Instagram, and A Well Designed Business on Facebook. Hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you next Friday. Thanks.